We welcome in someone else we enjoy, our analyst, George Karl. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So Kobe motivated by ESPN's preseason rankings. Your thoughts on his comments?
Well, I think Kobe's in a weird place. And the Lakers are in a weird place. The script in LA is win a championship, and that's been the script for 30, 40 years. And now Kobe's trying to fit back into a team that might not even be there next year. He's coming off a serious injury for an older player. And I actually thought he showed some humility there a little bit. I think he was softening his toughness position, softening his I'm Superman position, because he is close to Superman. He's that good, and he has been that good. But what is he going to be when he gets back on that court? And I'm actually conservative that he should be cautious on when he gets back on that court, because I want him to play another 2-3 years, and I want him to find his niche in the Laker future. But in the same sense, I don't want him to be a soft, weakened player because of the injury.
So how long would you hold him if you were coaching him?
Oh, man, that's now in today's world, again, I would be cautious and conservative. And I think right now they're probably pushing the envelope a little bit, because that's what he wants. That's what he wants. And you know that's what he wants. He wants to get out there and show that he can still play. But he's got a team right now that is playing it a pretty good way. He's got to fit in with that basketball team. He's not going to be 100%. So there's a lot of variables here that.
But if he was your player,
I would try to bring him back slowly if he wants to play. I would try to break him in at a 10 to 20 minute clip for an extended period of time, not just for 2 or 3 games and say, okay, I'm ready to go 30 or 40 minutes. I'd bring him along real slow.
All right, Stephen A.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I would trust that Kobe Bryant knows his body well enough, because he takes phenomenal care of his body. At the same time, though, I've always been in the mindset that he'd be back around Christmas Day. I'd like to modify that from this perspective. The first game that Kobe Bryant returns does not need to be against the 2-time reigning defending NBA champion Miami Heat. That doesn't need to be his first encounter, okay? You need a couple of warm-up sessions before going up against those boys. But he's Kobe Bryant. We know what he can do. He's not called the Black Mamba for nothing, but he's always taken phenomenal care of himself conditionally. He trains hard, works hard, knows his body, is meticulous about it. And I think the combination of all of those things leaves you at the mercy of flowing in a manner that he deems comfortable. Mike D'Antoni is a guy that pushes the envelope anyway. I mean, he wants to run up and down the floor, so that's even more incentive for Kobe to be guarded. But at the same time, what Mike D'Antoni taught us last year is that he's in no position whatsoever to try to modulate or censor how much time Kobe gets or whatever the case may be, because he's Kobe Bryant. You would like to believe that as the head coach, he'd be able to deal with that. But he was open about the fact that he's going to let Kobe do whatever Kobe believes is best for Kobe to do. And that's what this comes down to. But in an ideal world, I wouldn't rush it back this week. But coming back next week, right before Christmas, a couple of games before that Christmas Day game against the Miami Heat would seem to be better, because, again, you do not want your first encounter to be against LeBron and D-Wade and the crew.
Good point. I also agree with Coach Karl's initial point. When I saw that video, that interview, the first time on SportsCenter, I guess early this morning, I was surprised by that Kobe. What? He's laughing, he's mellow, he's humble. Oh yeah, all that 25th ranked stuff, that's just low-hanging fruit. I'm just having fun with that. Really? By this point, I expected that steely-eyed Kobe. A little defensive, a little chip on shoulder, showing a little fire, showing a little anger. I did, but I think he's up against an injury, as you say, at an advanced age in this game, that's kicking his behind a little bit. It has humbled him, because, as you know, this is the toughest injury to come back from, especially at Kobe's age.
And even though, as Stephen A. says, he knows his body, he doesn't know that injury of that body. That is a freak injury and a difficult injury from what I've been told. I've never had that injury, but the Achilles is just a dangerous thing, I think, to push.
Have you had any I'm trying to think of your last player who had that.
I don't even remember.
You haven't had one like this.
No, I don't remember any experiences of that. And I just think Kobe, make it a 45-game season, make it a 40-game season. I mean, there'll be time. The Lakers have shown that they're at least a credible team right now that'll hang around the playoff situation. Make it to where you do come back, you empower yourself and your team to be successful.
Do they look like the 8th playoff team right now?
I would not want to guess that in the Western Conference
so tough
right now. I mean, I think Portland has moved into a guaranteed play with a 16-3 start. They can stub their toe, they can fall on the ground and pick themselves up and still make the playoffs. But there's 5 or 6 teams out there fighting for 2 or 3 spots.